Guys, this is Chris here. Thank you for tuning in. Alright guys, I told you that I was going to try to stick to topics, instead of going all over the place, so let's give it a try here. Okay, the first topic, today's topic rather, that I want to talk about is, and other people have talked about this, now it's my turn. A big kid. I sometimes feel as though I'm 32-year-old man, but inside I'm just a 14, 15, 16-year-old kid. I love playing video games, computer games. I watch cartoons, especially cartoons, from my day of growing up. I like to watch things on TV that may be more, kid oriented, and I get laughs out of it, and it's strange because, and this is hard to admit, but I just feel like I'm still like I haven't grown up yet, and that's a problem. And I believe the reason why is because lack of social interaction, lack of social experiences, and also the lack of a childhood. Now, I had a decent childhood up until I was 12. So that's why I don't feel like, if I say I'm a big kid, I don't feel like, I'm like 9, 10, or 11. No. We're talking like teens here. So, I didn't have any, like, your quote-unquote typical teenage years. And I'm sorry if, the audio is kind of choppy. This camera's getting old. I've used it a lot more than ever, this last 6 months, and it's wearing out. So let's get back to what I was saying. Anyways, I just didn't have any teen years. High school was a miserable experience for me, and what I watched, one of my favorite shows growing up was Saved by the Bell, and that show was amazing. Not only was it good, but it had good stories, and the characters were awesome, and not everything was great, but they had good times. It was a core group of friends going through their high school experiences, the ups and the downs, but watching that show going into high school, that's what I thought high school was going to be. I was going to meet people. I was going to have even though my middle school experience was terrible, I like to think that, okay, high school is going to be different. It's going to be different. So they did a rezoning again. They did a rezoning before I went to middle school and then before I went to high school. So there was going to be different kids again. I was like those same idiots that, mentally bullied me in middle school. Most of them are not going to be in the same high school. So I was like, yes. So I was like, yes, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to meet people. I'm going to have a core group of friends. We're going to grow. We're going to come to school. We're going to hang out. We're going to enjoy it, we're going to, hang out after school on the weekends. We're going to meet, there's going to be guys and girls in the group. I'm going to date, we're going to go through our first kisses and have someone to share that with, first date, when we're learning to drive, doing driver's ed together, getting our licenses, all that great stuff. I was like, yes, I can't wait for those experiences. Never happened. Going to high school, and new people found ways to do me wrong and put me down, mentally abuse me, make me hate school, because at one point I loved school and I really wanted to make sure I had an education so I could, have a good career and such, and just couldn't make friends, couldn't, didn't fit in. I was outcast, even though I tried hard as hell my first year of high school. No girl would have anything to do with me. I took a liking to some girls, and I was just laughed at for even thinking about talking to them, and even had a couple of teachers call me by the nickname. My nickname in middle school was Meatloaf. My nickname in high school was Pork Chop. And I had a couple of teachers calling me Pork Chop, because that seems to be what everybody called me. Nobody even knew I was Chris. I remember an experience in 10th grade where so many people just, hey Pork Chop, oh, hey, look, it's that fat Pork Chop, and I remember a time when the roll was being called and the teacher called me pork chop, and I was like, I am not fucking pork chop. My name is fucking Chris. And the class was like, oh, not because I was cussing, because I heard somebody say, I thought pork chop was really his name. I didn't know his name was Chris. Now how stupid is that? To think somebody actually named their child pork chop. You know, that was absolutely ludicrous, and that sticks in my fucking mind to this day. So I didn't have those experiences. I did everything alone. I didn't go on dates. You know, there was no first kiss during high school. There was no, growing and learning and having someone to study with, and having someone to enjoy school with, partaking in extracurricular activities within the school, or growing together and just sharing our memories and building our foundations and continuing, even if we go down different paths into our adulthood, but keeping that core friendship. There was none of that, and I yearned for that. And as funny as this sounds, to this day, I would love to have an opportunity to go back to high school and do it all over again. Even if it was some like made up thing, just to give me that experience and give me what I wanted. Now trust me, I understand that what's on TV and what's in real life is not, true. But there was a lot of people that actually says high school is the best 4 years of their life. And I guess I'm in the minority when it comes to the tragedy of high school. I would say, most people, have like decent high school experiences. It may not be the best, but it's not the worst. And so because of that, I feel like I never grew up. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm waiting to make friends, and I'm waiting to share those experiences. Even though I went through the experiences, I did everything alone. I walked this life alone all these years. I haven't had no real life friends, so I'm yearning for that. I want that, and that's why I feel like I'm childlike. That's why I love video games and computer games and watching cartoons and teen-oriented shows and just being a big silly kid, even though I'm by myself, and again, I'm going to admit this, and this is probably going to make me, look like less of a person, but sometimes I wish I could play with my fucking action figures that I played with when I was a kid. How stupid is that? Just because I still inside deeply feel like a kid. Because I never grew up. I feel like I'm stuck at, 14, 15, 16, whatever. I'm stuck right there, and I'm waiting for something to come along and give me those great experiences I yearned for and help me grow up. Which goes into topic number 2 of this video. Father figure. I had a grandfather up until I was 12. He drank alcohol, but it didn't get bad until his later years. He had me going into kindergarten, he had me on an advanced level. He had me reading, writing, everything. When I went to kindergarten, they advanced me up to first grade simply because I was just too advanced. And I was probably on a second or third grade level when I got to kindergarten. And I aced through elementary school. In fact, over the 5 years, I finished only like a half a percentage point behind this girl. She was like 100% straight A's all through elementary school. I got a B one time, and that's what messed me up. So that's what I was saying. I at one point enjoyed school until get older and things change and people change. But anyways, he had me, taught me so well, and I really loved him. But his alcohol became a problem. He was a construction worker. He was getting drunk on the job. He got severely injured. The company got in trouble, for having him there. Not, letting him work when he was drunk. So he got fired from that. The company got in trouble. It was a big legal issue, whatever. Anyways, the alcohol just succumbed to him. He was being mean to my grandmother in the last few years. She had no choice. I can't blame her. She had to kick him out. I hate it. But once he was gone, he was gone. He ended up homeless on the streets. I didn't see him too often after that. And I know he ended up dead on the streets. And it's just alcohol ruined him. So after that, and like I said, let me say, I'm not the only guy that's never had a father, of course. But to me, it meant a lot. I needed a father figure. My real dad wanted nothing to do with me. My mother didn't want anything to do with me. I had my grandmother, but she couldn't relate to a boy. She didn't have any sons. She had daughters. She didn't know what I was going through. Times were changing. Things were different. If I tried to talk to her, it just didn't make any sense to her. She couldn't understand. I had nobody to look up to. I could have used a big brother. I could have used, just anybody, as a male figure. So here I am at 32 years old. And I'm saying that I still yearn for a father. I would love to have a father to help me along, kickstart me, give me a slap in the face, even though I've learned how to live and all these things, and I can manage on my own. Like I said, I still feel like a big kid. And I need guidance. I need guidance from an older male figure that may have been through similar things, and if not, maybe understands more of what the male goes through, especially when it comes to wanting to find love in relationships. And so at 32, it all circles back to being a big kid. I'm 32, but it's like, okay, I'm old on the outside, and I keep seeing myself age and little gray hairs in the beard and in the hair and all that stuff. But mentally, I'm still stuck in those years because I didn't have guidance. I didn't have someone to teach me. So that's why I enjoy young things. And that's why even if I'm able to overcome all these issues, figure out what the hell, and get on the right path, I will never let I will always, be a young, spirited person. I think it's boring to be an adult all the time and to be strict and to, do what society wants you to do, and it's abnormal for an adult to watch cartoons or play games or this and that, Even if I was to overcome, I think I would still enjoy those things. But my mentality would be a lot more advanced, to be a lot better, I can still enjoy the childlike things, but when it is time to be responsible, I can do that. But it's boring to be that way all the time. And so, abandonment issues. Yeah, I feel like I was abandoned by my mother, my father. Hell, I feel like I was abandoned by my grandfather because he chose alcohol over me. I feel like I was abandoned by life, that I tried and life just turned its back on me, didn't catch me any breaks. And again, I'm not the only one. But it's like, you would think that all these years I would have caught at least one break, and I've never caught a true break. And it's ridiculous. And it's like all these things, are halting me. It's like I'm stuck in the past. I'm thinking it's 2014, but to me it still seems like 1996 was just yesterday. That's because I'm stuck in the past. I cannot believe that it's 2014. It boggles my mind. I don't, like I said, I keep seeing an aged man, but in the mind I'm like, I'm still young. And that's one of the biggest hurdles, is closing that chapter and learning how to forget, or at least put it to the side and move forward and actually enjoy life. And those are things I'll be having to work on this year. So hope you guys weren't too bored with this conversation. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, and if you can relate to me, let me know. And I probably talked a little longer than I should. I said I was going to try to keep these videos a little shorter, just to try to cater to everyone, because not everybody likes the long videos, and I understand that, and I want people to continue to watch me. So again, that's it. That's all. I thank you for viewing, and it's time for us to part. So until next time, this is Chris, and I'm out. Peace.